African rains are beautiful, dramatic, life-sustaining. When the rain does come, it is often in bursts. Falling on hard, dry ground, most of the water quickly rushes away. Almost all of the 2 million people living in the Ukambani region of Kenya rely on subsistence farming. In this semi-arid climate, water is essential for daily life and economic livelihood. And the burden of collecting water falls on the backs of women and children. It's a heavy, back-breaking chore that must be repeated day after day after day. Women spend 4 to 6 hours every day walking long distances to collect water. The long hours away keep them from caring for their families, working their small farms, and earning an income. The women collect water from wherever they can find it, usually surface water or springs, from water sources shared with wild and domestic animals. It is typically dirty and unsafe, bringing into their homes the risk of diseases that cause serious illness. There is risk in the journey too. Many families must send young daughters out alone to search for water, making them vulnerable to assault and even rape. The lack of clean water impacts every aspect of life. Clean water makes the difference between a life of misery and a life of possibility. Women's Enterprises International is bringing hope and a solution. Through a partnership with women's groups in Kenya, Women's Enterprises is solving the water problem with a simple rain harvesting technology.
Hi, my name is Emily, and I got involved with Women's Enterprises because I saw a sustainable model to help women get water in Africa. I really got involved because I saw that it was a model that was going to live on in Kenya. It was a model that was going to help lift women out of poverty and give them choices. And it was also a model that I saw was effective because you're not giving somebody, you know that proverb where it says, teach a man to fish so that he can just fish more. That's what we're doing in Kenya. We're teaching women how to raise money and come together as a community. And they just naturally take off from there. The best way for women to gather water was to collect the rainwater. How they did that was it's a huge 10,000 liter tank, and they put piping that connects from the water tank to their rooftops. So the rainwater is flushed out from the rooftop to the tank. And this is a very simple, easy system, and it can fill up in a matter of days when there's rain.
Even though these tanks are a relatively low-cost, low-maintenance solution, purchasing a tank is financially out of reach for most families. That's why the financial match provided by Women's Enterprises is so important.
When I started, it was very, very difficult to convince them that they can actually do a successful project. Right now, as new groups come up, they've heard about the success of another group somewhere. And somehow they also hear about Women's Enterprises International in the U.S. matching funds, and they're looking forward to that.
So the women throughout the months will have these cans, and they collect money that they raise from selling crops, money that they raise from building bricks. They collect the money in a can in hopes to gather all the money together to purchase a water tank. It's funny that Harambee in Swahili actually means pulling together. So when they come to Harambee, they pull together. They pull all their resources together, all their prayers, all their money. They come together, and they have this huge bank opening where the women come up so proud, and they present their cans ready to be opened. And they open that, they pour out the money, they count the money. And so all the women's groups come together, and they say, wow, we've raised this amount of money in how many months? That means we get X amount of water tanks. And to see their faces, and they're so proud, and it's just, you could see that they have such kind of a built-up happiness within inside of them to know that they raised this money on their own, to know that they had the strength to do this on their own, that it was such a great honor to see a Harambee in Kenya, see a bank opening.
When a group raises enough money for one tank, Women's Enterprises matches it, so 2 tanks can be purchased. providing a compelling incentive to save. The women determine by joint decision who has the greatest need, and those women get tanks first. The women continue working and saving until each woman in the group earns a tank. A woman who owns a tank now has time to start a business, like raising chickens to sell eggs, or selling produce from a larger garden. The added income provides a better life for her family. And instead of being sent to search for water every day, children are now sent to school. Empowered and freed from the constant search for water, these women are becoming inspiring leaders in their communities.
That's what I love about women's enterprises, because they're empowering women, giving them a sense of hope, and now these women are giving back to their community. And so it's kind of looking at investment. You're really investing in a woman and building her hope, and you're also investing in a future generation.
Women's Enterprises International is committed to transforming women's lives from one of drudgery and poverty to one filled with hope and opportunity. It all starts with clean water.
How much would you invest to bring transformation like this to the lives of countless families in Kenya? 1 water tank, 2, 3, 5 tanks, maybe 10? Know that every tank that gets placed is not only bringing clean water and the promise of improved health, but it's taking advantage of the hours that are freed up because women are no longer looking for water every day. It gives them the ability to start a small business and to earn the money to send their children to school. What will you give to bring this kind of transformation, life-changing transformation, to a woman and her children for generations to come? Thank you.